everyone, it's Jean. So glad you stopped by to visit. It's been a little bit since I've been on here, but I want to show you this really adorable craft for if you're doing a wedding and you need some favors, or if you're doing a party of some sort. These would look really adorable on place cards, and I want to show you how I make these and how cute they can be for all your spring projects, which we're hoping come soon. So this is actually called a tussie mussie. And tussie mussies were little cone-shaped. They could be brooches. They could be little things that were carried that would have streamers on the side. So you could have one of these pinned to your clothing somewhere, but they're just cute little pieces of vintage, I would say heritage, vintage things to remember. And I'm doing these for a friend of mine who's going to a special function in Chile. So she wanted some little things to give out as gifts. So I'm making her these, and I have several of them that I've done. And what you need to make these are some kind of small flower, like in my case, these are little millinery flowers that usually went on hats or on lapels or hair combs or fascinators, something like that. So this is my version of a tussie mussie. And the way that I made these, you don't need that many supplies. I used a sheet of sheet music for the actual cones, and then, like I said, find some small flowers. If you don't have these, which I got these on Temu, but it's been forever and I haven't checked to see if they still have them. But if you go even into a store like you're grocery shopping at Walmart and you see the floral section and they have like some faux baby's breath or something that you can use that's small like this, even tiny daisies, Dollar Tree may have them. Don't have to have the flowers that I have here. You can use whatever you can find that's small. With the music sheet paper, you can use music sheet paper if you want to, or you can use any other medium weight paper. The reason why I'm using the music paper is because it is a little sturdier, and I don't feel that it competes with the floral that I'm putting inside it. If you have a really floral designed paper and then you put the flowers in it, you're not going to notice them as much. I also didn't want to use any tea dyed or coffee dyed paper because I was afraid that it would be more fragile than this. So this is like a nice medium weight paper. And again, you can use scrapbook paper. I would just choose something that's not very busy. So if you remember from kindergarten or first grade, they taught you how to make a heart by just folding a piece of paper in half and then cutting a heart shape out. So that's what I did for these. I cut out a heart shape, and then I needed to glue this so that it would turn into cone shape. So I just bent down the corner or the sides of the heart here so that, just bend them over like this. And then after I do that, I take some of my glue from my huge glue stick and I just run it on one edge. And then I fold this in half and overlap that one piece so that it just glues together there and you have a nice little point. Sometimes you do have to cut off if there's any excess. And then you can kind of flatten it a little bit so that you can make sure that it's nice and sealed in the back. I lay them down like this too and just make sure they're sealed. So after you make the little heart shape into a cone, then you would take whatever flowers you're using. And I had some really cute sunflowers around here too, but I don't know where they went off to. So after you do that, you can either use your hot glue or some type of fast drying tacky glue, or I use my 3-in-1 beacon glue. If you have a place to just set them so that they can dry, you can use like Aleene's tacky glue or whatever you have. I wouldn't use a glue stick because you need to have them stay in there pretty securely. And so we put the flowers in like this, and then we have this cute little flower-filled tussie mussie. Yeah, these flowers are flexible, so if you need to bend the stick a little bit or bend the flowers down a little bit, you can. I don't want that to have such a big bend, so just a second here. So there you go. You have this cute little tussie mussie. Now, the next supply that you need is some ribbon. And the ribbon that I am using is actually 1/8 inch. So it's pretty tiny. So it's a little bit fiddly. And I usually have to cut off, I cut off a larger piece than what I actually need, because to form the tie and the loops, it just gets a little tedious if you're not careful. So I'm going to put this one over here. And everybody has their tricks for making sure, oops, that went up too high, for making sure that the bow is facing the right way. And a friend of mine, she used to make quilted, she would take a styrofoam ball and make a quilted ball out of it with fabric. and she was really good. But she told me that if you tie your ribbon upside down, it will come. Now that's not happened before. It's always going to be happening like this when I'm trying to show somebody how I make something. So even those of us who have been doing this forever still make mistakes. So, all right, this is going to have to be retied. So let me pull it up here where I want it. And tie it again upside down. And let's see if the tails are going the right way. Okay. So we have it up a little bit further, sort of. And then we just need to pull these tight and then snip off the extra end. So there you have a tussie mussie that is, there we go, ready to go. And like I said, you can fiddle with them a little bit to make sure the flowers are the way you want, and the ribbons the way you want. They're definitely pliable enough that you can work them around and design them how you need to. Now with this ribbon, since it's given me so much trouble, I'm going to just put a little bit of glue right here, and that way if it decides to go anywhere, it'll be glued down. And then for some reason this wants to collapse in, so let me just use the stem and that'll poke it back out. All right, so here we have our tussie bussie, and it's almost ready to go. I need to fix the ribbon a little bit, but you know, there are little tricks that you can do, like I said, gluing a piece on the one side so that it doesn't slip down. And then you have a little bit more freedom in tying your bow, because to me that's the fiddliest part, is tying the bow. And then these little offcuts, I know one of the things that I've seen done are like strips of scraps, and these would be good to put on the scraps. You could make them loops or however you want. And also I've seen this ribbon used to make leaves for flowers if they're really tiny. So you could definitely put some loops on your stitching, and then you'd have, you know, it doesn't look too bad in there, does it? That's really cute. So anyway, that is what I wanted to show you today, because I know we all love things that are vintage, and this is one of the things that I love, and I'm sure you will too. And if you try it, you'll be delighted to find that it's a very easy project, and you can make someone smile with a little bouquet of flowers. So have a wonderful evening, everyone. I will be back soon, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Have a great evening.